Right, let's kick things off. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the 17th installment of our Strategy of the Week series. We're thrilled to be streaming simultaneously across an array of platforms. So you could be tuning in via Twitter, LinkedIn, or numerous other venues. Don't forget that a recorded version of this live stream will be uploaded on our YouTube channel afterwards. If you're catching up with us through the YouTube recording, consider becoming a part of our vibrant Discord community to stay updated about the next live streams. You'll find an invite link to this in the video description. This will also afford you the chance to pose any strategy-related queries in real time, enabling us to provide instant responses, which is really a win-win for both parties. Of course, we understand that live attendance may not always be feasible due to professional obligations and much more. In such cases, feel free to visit the recording on YouTube at your convenience. Lastly, remember that our YouTube channel hosts a diverse array of Strategy of the Week videos, so if this strategy isn't quite your cup of tea, there's plenty more to explore. Right, so let's dive in. This week, we're spotlighting a strategy that harnesses the power of the Relative Strength Index, or RSI, and basic moving averages to pinpoint entry points for long positions. For position exits, we'll again be leveraging these two technical indicators. What makes the strategy particularly appealing is that it will not use TradingView signals. This means that it'll be able to take advantage of Coinrule's Any Coin scanner. This tool will scour the market, hunting for coins that match our entry criteria, and subsequently initiate trades on them. Additionally, the strategy comes pre-packaged as a template on Coinrule, making it a breeze to set up and launch. For those interested in a deep dive again, the accompanying script will be available on our TradingView profile. So if you wish to conduct a back test, that's entirely possible. And again, I'll guide you through this process later on as usual. Okay, first let's have a look at the broader macro picture then. So far this week has progressed at quite a slow pace. It's been quite minimal volatility, noticeable in both equity and crypto markets. Bucking this trend, short-term treasury yields saw a rise, given the lack of significant progress in resolving the debt ceiling issue amidst the power struggle between the two factions in Congress. Despite this, Sunday's call was labeled productive by both political factions, and discussions are set to continue throughout the week. So hopefully we can get a resolution to this soon. This week's economic calendar featured significantly noteworthy events and data disclosures. On Tuesday, we had a series of PMI releases from the US and UK. Additionally, there were multiple speeches from officials at the Bank of England and the European Central Bank, followed by the release of the Fed meeting minutes today. Rounding out the week, Friday will see the disclosure of UK CPI and core PCE in the US. So now, when we look at the Bitcoin daily chart here, you can see that I've got some key levels highlighted. During our last Strategy of the Week video, live stream, in fact, we highlighted that a variety of technical indicators were pointing towards an increase in bearish momentum for Bitcoin. As you can see, over the past 2 weeks, this has kind of played out. Down here, we've just had a general downwards trend in the past 2 weeks. The most important level we should really be looking at here is this one here. This is a support level around $26,500. We can see so far that Bitcoin has tested the support multiple times here, but it's so far held strong. If this level's breached and we fall through it, I'd be looking to enter short positions. Another important indicator to take a look at here is the MACD, which is this down here. You can see here that it appears that the MACD line, this blue line basically, looks like it's about to cross above its signal line, which is this orange line here. This would be a bullish signal. We can see the last time this happened, Bitcoin essentially, we can see here where this histogram turned green, Bitcoin surged up towards 30K. So hopefully now we will see an increase in bullish momentum and hopefully move towards 30K and hopefully reclaim that level. Right, so let's discuss the indicators we're using. Most of you will probably be rather familiar with simple moving averages and the RSI, but I'm going to run through them quickly regardless. I'll just load up the RSI here and get rid of the MACD just so you can visualize what I'm talking about. Here we have it. So the Relative Strength Index, as I said, often referred to as RSI, is a popular tool used in technical analysis of all financial markets. It's essentially a momentum oscillator that measures the speed and change of price movements. It oscillates between 0 and 100, as you can see here. We move between 0 and 100 up here, which you just can't quite see on this chart, but I promise you it oscillates between 0 and 100. Traditionally, the RSI is considered overbought when above 70, so these readings here would be considered overbought. Up here, extremely overbought. And oversold when below 30. So here you can see an oversold level here, sorry. Essentially, when the RSI is above 70, it might suggest that the asset is being overbought and could be due, for a price correction or reversal. Conversely, an RSI value below 30 suggests that the asset may be oversold and could be due for a price bounce or reversal. Excuse me. Essentially, the RSI is calculated using average price gains and losses over a defined period of time. This is typically 14 periods. Essentially, it is used to help identify whether an asset's price momentum is strong or weak. It's worth noting again that, like all technical analysis tools, the RSI isn't perfect and doesn't guarantee success on its own. It's typically used in conjunction with other tools and analysis methods to make informed trading decisions, which is exactly what we're doing with the strategy today. So let's load up some moving averages as well here. So this line here, this blue line here, is a moving average. This is MA9. So simple moving averages, or SMAs, these again are a widely used tool in technical analysis, and they essentially help smooth out price data by creating a constantly updated average price. Let's get rid of the RSI so you can see the moving average in more detail here. The average is taken over a specific period of time, like 10 days, 20 minutes, 30 weeks. So you can see this one here, because we're on the daily chart here, and we're using MA9, this is taken over a period of 9 days. So how it works, let's say that we want to calculate the 9-day SMA for a particular coin. For each day, you would add up the closing prices for the last 9 days and then divide that total by 9. This essentially gives us the average closing price over the last 9 days. And the next day, we would drop the oldest price and add the closing price for the new day, and again divide by 9. And the process is repeated over and over, which creates the moving average line on the chart. Essentially this thing here. The main function of the SMA is to provide traders with a sense of the overall trend direction of the market. If the SMA is moving up, the trend is up. So we can see here, trend is up. We see here when it's moving down, the trend is down. It's worth noting again that SMAs can be biased due to their nature, since they point to past data. They may be behind the market essentially. And again, just like the RSI, they're typically used in conjunction with other forms of analysis to make informed decisions, and they're not a guarantee essentially to predict market movements accurately on their own. Hence, this is why we're using a combination of two technical indicators to enter and exit trades within our strategy here. Okay, so let's discuss our entry conditions of the strategy. So to enter positions, the strategy is going to look for 3 conditions to be met. The first condition relies on the RSI. We first require that the RSI is above 60, just like this thing here, so it's above 60. The next 2 entry conditions, rely on moving averages. So first, we require that MA9 increases by 6. So this line here increases by 6. And we also require MA9 to be greater than MA100, just like this example here. Okay, so let's go over the exit conditions. So to exit positions, the strategy again utilizes moving averages in the RSI. The first 2 conditions rely on the RSI. We require that it's greater than 30, so just above here, and have to decrease by 5, just like this example here. The final exit strategy relies on moving averages, and we simply require MA9 to be less than MA100, just like this. Once all of these 3 conditions are met simultaneously, a trade will close. Great. So now we've discussed the entry and exit conditions of the strategy. Let's have a quick look at backtesting. If you remember earlier, I told you that the script is available on our TradingView profile. So I'll just go to this now. Oops, sorry. This is it here. RSI and MA percentage change. You can essentially here, we've got a description of the strategy, the entry conditions, exit conditions. This is just what I've been over, but it's here for your reference if you want to look at it again. Another important thing, in its standard form, this script presumes that each trade uses 50% of the available equity. 0.1% trading fee is also applied, which is aligned to the base fee on Binance, which is, of course, the largest cryptocurrency exchange by volume. I'm going to show you how to change these values later on. So essentially, imagine you trade on an exchange with different fees. You can also simulate that here by increasing this number or decreasing it. Okay, so this is the script for the strategy here. So if you want to backtest it, you just come here, click Add to Favorite Indicators, and then you come to the chart that you wish it to run on. I'm going to test it on render, on the 1 hour time frame. You just come to indicators. It'll now be in your favorites here. So you can just copy and paste the name. There you go. Click it. And it should be added to the chart. So you can see here, you get some backtesting data. You can also zoom out in the chart, see when we would have entered long positions, exit long positions. So it's quite a valuable tool, this. So here we can see that an important thing to note as well is this this backtesting data is from the start of 2022. So it performs. It's quite this data is quite recent as well, over the last kind of year and a half. So in a total of 59 trades, the strategy made a total net profit of about 193%, and was profitable 33.9% of the time. You can see that once you've loaded this to the chart here, it's very simple. If you want to test it on a different time frame, you can just do this. So you can see that it doesn't perform as well in the 2 hour as the 1 hour. So this might give you an idea that you want to run it on the 2 hour or the 1 hour time frame rather than the 2 hour. If you want to, you can also change this up here. Let's try it on Bitcoin, for example. You can see it wasn't profitable in the 1 hour time frame on Bitcoin. Let's check 50 minutes. Yep, it was profitable here. So I'm gonna keep it on RDR render, on the 1 hour time frame because obviously we saw that the performance on this time frame and on this pairing was by far the greatest. But feel free to test out other pairings and time frames. You know, obviously I don't have time to check every single coin in the market. But I check quite a lot, and this is one of the ones I find performed best. So this is one I would certainly recommend using. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to change the trading fees, you can also just essentially change this value here, the 0.1. You can also change the percentage of equity that's used for each trade to maybe like 30%, just whatever in line with your strategy. So you can get more realistic backtesting results that are more in line with your strategy, essentially. You could also change like the RSI value as well. You could say like if you wanted to, in the buy condition, if you wanted to enter when it was above 70 instead of 60, you could change this value and effectively just kind of play about the strategy and try and optimize it further for you. But in my experimentation, these values perform best, so I'm going to keep them just as they are. So, very simple. If you want to run this on Coinrule, you'll remember I said it's available as a template, so it's super easy to essentially get up and running. You just come to Coinrule, come to create a rule here, templates, and just click search. You can just paste it in here. Here we are. You can see we're given a description of the strategy, and then you can select it and add it to the chart. So add it to the rule. This is essentially, you just need to put in a few values. For example, if you want this to run on any coin, any of your coins, any specific bundle. But I'm just going to keep this running on render because we saw it perform very well. So I'm just going to exclusively run this strategy on render. I'm also going to keep it on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm just going to change all these values to 1 hour. And then when these conditions are met, I want to buy $100 of that coin with my USDT wallet as a limit order. And then if render, these are exit conditions here, obviously, and these are our entry conditions. So then if the exit conditions are met, again, in a time frame of 1 hour, because from the backtesting data, we can see this performs very well. Then I want to sell 100% of the amount bought of that coin to my USDT wallet as a limit order. I want this to start immediately, and I'm going to execute this 20 times. Feel free to increase this, decrease this, whatever you'd like. And once you're ready to go, click launch here, and you'll see we're given some just a little kind of preview of the strategy. If you're happy with this, click launch. And there you go. Your strategy is now live. Thank you very much for listening to this live stream. I'll just hang around for a couple minutes just to see if you have any questions. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you create. Please reach out to support@coinrule.com as well if you're having any queries with the strategy, and we'll get back to you.